All right, everybody, good afternoon. It's time for Snap Count Monday. I know that game feels like it was forever ago, and I know that we're all pretty over it, but I do want to look at this data because it's very interesting and I guess you could say very amusing what ended up happening with these snap counts. And I think it really highlights something that I talked about in a video yesterday. The defense has to play a lot, mostly because of the defense, guys. Like people are saying, "Oh, look at the time of possession. The defense is on the field the whole game. That's why they're bad." Because people are like, "Look at the time of possession." The time of possession's bad mostly because the defense is so bad they can't get off the field. Like the offense really doesn't have that much to do with it compared to what the defense does to themselves. Like I'm sorry, but that's what it is. I mean, this Cowboys game should be a great example of that. And when I say that, what I mean is the Seahawks had 69 plays on offense. That's good. 69 plays on offense is pretty solid. It's not elite, but it's good. And they were 69 productive snaps. We put up 35 points. We had 400 plus yards. No punts. One turnover. Yeah, they were good snaps. I don't think we had a single 3-and-out or 4-and-out in that game. But before I get into all that, let's take a look at who got those snaps. Zach Charbonnet got 42 snaps, and DJ Dallas got 28. So I guess the reason why we didn't get the ball to, or give any, or excuse me, not even the ball, give any snaps to Kenny McIntosh is that we just don't like him very much. You got almost 70 snaps in a game and you can't find one snap for Kenny McIntosh. The only thing that I can think of is that we just don't trust him at all. And we're trying to win these games and we're like, we can't put him out there to get our quarterback killed because he didn't pick up a blitz. I don't get it though. You can't get him out there one time? Like, has DJ Dallas shown you something so amazing this year that he just has to be out there every time Charbonnet isn't? I don't buy it. I don't see it. I don't get it. And I'm not thrilled about it. But yeah, Charbonnet gets lead back work, but DJ Dallas gets a lot of work as well. Pretty nice balance. I think that's reasonable. Just where's the McIntosh? Wide receivers, heavy wide receiver usage in this game for sure. And the way Metcalf, especially, and also to a certain extent JSN played, it's pretty understandable. And it's probably a good thing, right? Like Metcalf 62, Lockett 61. Lockett didn't have a great game, but that doesn't have to necessarily define who he is as a player. JSN had 46 snaps, so he played well over half the game. And Jake Bobo had 8 snaps as well at wide receiver. So, I mean, it's a 3 wide receiver heavy offense. And in this game, it was actually kind of worth it because we were productive. So I would say that if you're going to play like that, if you're going to produce like that, then you're doing something right and you've got to be pretty happy with it. Like this is not a situation where I'm mad because our tight ends are not on the field and we're not having production because at the end of the day, this is what I say sometimes. I think we as Seahawks fans just want things that work well. We don't need it to be exactly the way we want it to be. We just need it to be something that works well. Tight end, muted. Noah Fant, 44 snaps, so he got a pretty decent chunk, but Will Dissly's down to 25 and Colby's down to 29. Like, Will Dissly's become basically an afterthought in this offense, and Colby Parkinson is not that far behind. Again, I don't mind it in this game because the offense actually played well, but it is interesting to see these guys slowly get phased out. The fact that Dissly doesn't play that much anymore, like literally he's played less than actually just slightly more than 100 snaps over the last 5 games combined tells me that we've already kind of made a decision that we're going to cut him at the end of the year. Like, I don't think you can keep him around at that price if you're going to not use him. And right now, we're not really using him. And don't get me wrong, that's okay. I got no problem with it. But it does kind of highlight what seems to be the approach here. And yeah, Colby 29 snaps, and he doesn't really do anything with his snaps anymore. He never gets the ball thrown his way. Offensive line, Cross, Lewis, and Brown played all 69 snaps. And Anthony Bradford played every snap except 2, where he did get dinged up and Jason Peters came in to spell him. The interesting thing here was the rotation we used at right tackle, where Abe Lucas played 41 snaps and Jason Peters played, well, 28 snaps because 2 of his snaps were in place of Bradford. But you can see that Lucas, we were kind of slowly working him in, which I got no problem with. It's his first game back in a while. We got to be careful. And this bodes well for what we do going forward, I guess, right? Because Lucas, even in his first game back, got most of the snaps. He got a majority. So give him another week or two. He should be a full-time player again, and Jason Peters should be on the bench. So there's not a heck of a lot of nuance here. It's nice to see an offensive line that is starting to gain some degree of stability, which is something that we really lacked early in the season. At this point, I think Bradford can just start the rest of the season. I don't think we lose anything with him versus Phil Haynes. And Bradford's the guy who's actually interesting for the future. Phil Haynes, he's capped out. He's just a below average guard who probably should be a backup in this league. Okay, now we go over to the defensive side of the ball, and here's the thing. 89 snaps. The Seattle Seahawks played 89 snaps on defense. That's impossible. That's inhumane. That's, I don't know if it's probably not a record, but I've never seen a number that high as long as I've been doing Snap Count Monday. 89 snaps is like against the Geneva Convention. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, the offense had a pretty good day. 69 plays is solid. They scored a lot. They were very productive throughout the vast majority of that game. They didn't kick field goals, by the way. They were scoring touchdowns. They scored 5 touchdowns, tried 1 field goal, missed it. And yet, the defense is on the field the whole game by their own follies. You see what I'm saying? These 89 snaps did not get here because the offense was bad. They got there because the defense couldn't get off the field. So, to anybody who doesn't get it yet, maybe this will help you get it, because it's right there in front of you. All you have to do is pick it up. It's right there on a pedestal right in front of you. All you have to do is pick it up and go, oh, okay, I get it. But not everybody will. On the defensive line, we've got Draymond Jones playing 55 snaps, Jaron Reed playing 68, and Leonard Williams playing 70. Like, I understand that there were a lot of snaps in this game, but do you have any idea how bad an idea it is to play any defensive lineman 70 snaps in a game unless he's like Aaron Donald or Max Crosby or somebody like that? Like, not super duper stars. Like, Leonard Williams is a really good player. I actually think he played fairly good on Thursday night, but 70 plays, 68 plays for Reed? Like, one, that's just highlighting how bad the defense is that they allow something like that to happen. But beyond that, it also just highlights the fact that we don't have a rotation, and it's really starting to kill us. Obviously, Draymond plays a lot of his snaps as an edge now, by the way. Linebacker, this was where things got a little bit hairy because of Jordan Brooks getting hurt. By the way, still really worried about him. We haven't gotten concrete updates from him, to my knowledge, about him, rather. Bobby Wagner played every snap, because of course he does. Devin Bush played 58 snaps, so his first extended action. I thought he played okay. Not the best, not the worst. I mean, I can't really blame players at this point for making mistakes when the whole defense is this inept. And Jordan Brooks played 26 snaps before getting hurt. We also had 2 snaps from Nick Bellore. I think it was around the goal line. Kind of interesting that he actually gets in there every now and then. Good to see Nick Bellore around, trying to earn that money at least. And then we got edge rusher Boye Mafe, 62 snaps. Obviously, a lot of the edge rusher snaps went to Draymond. But Darrell Taylor actually had a normal workload of 36. Frank Clark had 27. And in a game where we played almost 90 snaps on defense, Derek Hall gets 4 snaps. So we view him as being completely unplayable right now, guys. We basically think that we'd rather put washed up, obviously nothing left in the tank, Frank Clark in the game over Derek Hall by an insanely high ratio. So either the coaches are really, really dumb and keep forgetting that we have Derek Hall on the roster, or Derek Hall is so unable to provide value that they're just doing what they have to do. I don't know what it is, but Derek Hall has basically, he's basically not on this team right now. Disappointing. Cornerback, Woolen plays every snap except 2, 87. Devin Witherspoon plays 86, all but 3. And Trey Brown plays a vast majority of the game, 70 of 89 snaps. Mike Jackson gets 2 snaps. Artie Burns gets 1. I don't know when that happened. But the 3 cornerbacks played a vast majority of the game. And then safety, Adams played every snap except 1. Diggs played every snap except 2. And Julian Love, only 18. So as you can see, we are continuing to kind of try to play matchups here. I can't say it's working great right now, but it's what we're doing. And there are some games where Julian Love plays almost the whole game, and then there are some games where he doesn't and Trey Brown does. Okay, so that's Snap Count Monday. Again, the big picture here is the defense is doing it to themselves. They're on the field for almost 90 plays on Thursday night because they suck, not because the offense sucks. The offense did not punt the ball once that whole game. The offense had 1 turnover, and then at the end of the game, they gave up a few 4th downs. Or didn't get a few 4th downs. But the defense does it to themselves over and over and over again. All right. See you guys later. Go Hawks. More videos coming later. Maybe we'll get some injury updates that are a little more meaningful. But, yeah. The show goes on.